So the first thing you'll notice is under your warm-up, I have something called foam rolling. So what foam rolling is most commercial gyms should have this. If not, you can skip it. It's not a big deal. It's helpful though, very helpful. But basically what it's called, the technical term, is self-myofascial release. If you've ever gone to a massage therapist, they work out your knots. Now, unfortunately, most people don't have the kind of money to afford a massage therapist every week. So what this does is kind of the same thing, except you can do it on yourself, and it works out the knots in your muscle and breaks it up so that you can enhance your recovery process and even enhance your movement. So what I usually like to do for a warm-up is what I call bottoms-up foam rolling. Now, you're not going to be as intensive as you normally would be when you do this, but it helps kind of get your body loose for the workout. So you start with your lower body. You start with your calves. So basically with the calf exercise, you put one leg on the roller and then cross the other leg over it and try to get your whole body weight over it. Now, when you feel a little discomfort, you kind of stay there and you just kind of massage it out with short strokes. Now, if there's no discomfort, that's pretty good. So then all you do is you do long strokes up and down the calf. Do about 6 of these, 6 long strokes total, and then move to the next calf. You do the same thing. Long strokes, and you get to a spot where you feel discomfort, not necessarily pain, but discomfort, and then you kind of roll it out. Ideally, you should not roll longer than from up here, above your Achilles, to right about here, just below the little knee, your knee. Alright? From the calves, you go to your hamstrings. Now, normally for a warm-up, I'll do both hamstrings at once. Alright? Now, when you normally do a foam rolling, you want to do one hamstring at a time, but because this is our warm-up and we're not really trying to get deep into the muscles, we're just trying to get our body loose, it saves time. It's more efficient that way. So then what I do is I just put both my hamstrings on the foam roller and I just roll up and down long strokes. Same thing as the calves, 6 times. If I feel a little discomfort or a little tightness, I'll stay there and just kind of roll it out a little bit more. Alright, and then the same thing with the hamstrings. You want to get the muscle. You don't want to worry, you don't want to get on bone or anything, you just want to get the muscle, so the muscle belly. So it'll usually be right where your tendon starts to right below your glutes. Alright? Now, all this in the warm-up. Going from there with the bottoms-up mentality, I usually go from posterior, which is the back side, to anterior. So you'll see how I do this in a second. Anyhow, from the hamstrings, I go to the IT band. This is right alongside, and this part usually tends to be really tight for a lot of people. Alright? So this one, you're probably going to feel it quite a bit, especially when you first start doing this. But what you're going to do is you're going to lay on the side of the foam roller like this. And then what I like to do is put my other foot on the other side to kind of use as a stabilizer. And again, I'll kind of roll all the way down to just above my knee, and then all the way down up to just below my hip. Alright, and the same thing, you just go about 6 times per group. Alright, after the IT band, you'll do both sides, both legs. After the IT band, you go on to the glutes. Now I do it 3 times on the glutes. I'll get the glute maximus by sitting like this, just sitting on the roller, and I roll it right below my lower back to right above my hamstrings. Alright? And you'll feel it, especially after a day where you do deadlifting or squats. Alright? And so I'll do about 6 times. Now, to get what's called the glute medius, the side of your glutes, you go like this. I put my leg like this on my knee, kind of resting my ankle on my knee, and I'll lean. So that way I'm resting on the side of my glute. And I'll go about 6 more times, the same general area, and then I'll go to the other side, same idea, lean. Alright, from there, you go onto your back. Now it's very important, especially to avoid injury to your lower back, that you avoid this area right about here. Alright, so basically when you do the foam roller, you want to go from about here to upper back, right here, where I'm pointing. So this is about as far as you want to go. And again, it's the same concept, 6 times up and back, and you just want to make sure that you get those tight spots and just rest on them. So you go about 6 times, you'll rest, and you keep going. And it's easiest if you kind of if you thrust your glutes and your pelvis up into the air, so that way you can put as much weight onto your back in the foam roller as possible. So you go for about 6 times. Next, you get the lats. Now this is a small area, but it's usually pretty tight for a lot of people, just like the IT bands. So you lay on your side, and the lats will cover from about here to here. Alright? So what you do is you lay, put your arms straight, and you'll just kind of roll down and roll up. And use your feet to propel you. I sometimes put my hand right here, my other hand right here, just kind of stabilize. Again, the whole entire time, you just do 6 times per body part. Then you switch, and you get your other lat. Same idea. Roll down and up. Alright, from there, we've got most of our anterior done. Alright, the big muscles at least. So now we're going to go with our posterior. So we're going to go chest and quads. Alright, so this is where we lose the bottoms up, but that's not too important. Basically with the chest, you basically just want to get from just below your neckline, right here, collarbone, just below your collarbone, to right above your sternum. Alright? Just really get the meat of the muscle. So again, you'll roll down, back and forth 6 times. And then finally with the quads, just like the hamstrings. Normally, you do it one leg at a time, but for the sake of efficiency, we're going to do both legs. So you're going to get your thighs. So again, it's going to be just above your knee to just below your hip. So you're going to rest. And now here, you want to use your hands to move you. So you go up and down. Up and down for about 6 times. And that is bottoms up foam rolling. That's the first part of your warm-up.